Suicide Squad is the long-awaited sequel to Monster Squad. It kind of took a dark turn. Suicide Squad is the latest movie in the DC Extended Universe, directed by David Ayer, and starring Will Smith, Margot Robbie, and Viola Davis, as well as like a fuck ton of other people. Now, this movie has been getting beat to shit on Rotten Tomatoes. It's below 30% right now, and I don't get that. I had a lot of fun with this movie, actually. In case you didn't already know, this movie takes place after Batman v Superman. And spoilers for that movie. You still with me? Alright. At the end, Superman dies. So Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis, wants to have essentially a contingency plan. So if another Superman shows up and he's like, hey, fuck off, I'm just gonna, rip the president out of the fucking White House, that there is something in place where people can go after them. Some meta-humans can actually, do some good. And it doesn't matter if they're good or bad. She's gonna fucking make them do what she wants by kind of stealing from the plot of Escape from New York, and form a team of people who she can make, save the world with their special powers. And so she forms the Suicide Squad, or I think it's called like Project X or something. No, that's the one with monkeys. It's fucking something. I don't know. It's the Suicide Squad. So anyway, Viola Davis plays a real good fucking bad guy in this movie. She is a real, not sure if it's sexist to call her a bitch. Asshole. She plays a fucking asshole in this movie. And she does a really good job at it. You really hate her. For the most part, for most of the movie, you're just like, yeah, fuck you. And you're on the murderer's side. Like, I know I just saw Deadshot shoot a guy in the head, but fuck you anyway. The cast is also really good, with Will Smith and Margot Robbie really being the two standouts. Will Smith is the emotional core to this movie. They flesh out his character quite well, and you understand where the guy's coming from. You understand his motivations, and he didn't seem like that bad of a guy. Again, besides the killing people. Margot Robbie is batshit insane. Harley Quinn is just crazy, and she plays it up really well. They give her a nice backstory as well. You get to see how she became to be this crazy person. And you get to see her relationship with the Joker and how that works, and it's pretty freaking good. The Joker and Batman, to an extent, are essentially garnished to the movie. Batman is barely in it, save for like 2 scenes, and the Joker's in it more, but not that much more. They're not the main characters by any means. They're just used in, kind of certain spots to help the story along. The Suicide Squad themselves, even the lesser-known villains, are what really make up the meat of the movie, and they're done really well. You're not going to believe me when I say this, but Jai Courtney? He does a good job. He's likable and funny and charismatic in this movie. That's right, A Good Day to Die Hard and Terminator Genesis actor Jai Courtney does a good job in this movie. Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman, is also very likable, and he gives a very solid performance. For a Few Dollars Less is also in the movie. He's there. Cara Delevingne, or however the fuck you pronounce it, plays the Enchantress in the movie, and I really liked how her character started. And then it kind of just drops off for me. They did some changes with her character and the look of her character, and I didn't like where they went with it. Frank the Body Gibbiotti is also in the movie, and he plays a good asshole, which, if you know the reference, you understand that. While this movie is not a comedy per se, it is still pretty funny and pretty light-hearted throughout. Even though it's dealing with murderers and, kind of horrible things that happen and have happened, it manages to keep the tone fairly light. And is also very full of style. The intros to all of the characters, like all of the Suicide Squad, get these cool intros. I really liked the graphics they used in the color palette. It looked kind of 80s-ish. And the music they used were all really good for it. Except for one. One member of the Suicide Squad gets fucking shortchanged, does not get an intro, and that really fucking bothered me. As I just mentioned, the music was really good in the movie, and almost to a fault. It never quite crossed the line, never got there, but it's just so good that it's almost distracting. But it's also just so good. The majority of the action is also shot really well in the movie. Specifically, the first and second acts, I really like it. There's like smaller fights, like with Harley Quinn in a jail cell and Harley Quinn in an elevator, and Deadshot, and everybody kind of taking on a group of bad guys. It all works really well. The third act is where it kind of falls apart a little bit and the editing gets a bit choppy. It's kind of hard to follow because of how they edited it. The third act also kind of drags a little bit. It's like it should be done and then it isn't done. And that kind of bummed me out. Now, the real bad guy in the film, or I guess the antagonist, because everybody's really a bad guy in the movie. I'm not going to spoil who it is because it's not really been shown in the previews. I thought that character was very underwhelming and not that threatening and not properly built up. They do some backstory and they do kind of establish the character, and they do it in such small spurts. It didn't really work for me. I would have much rather had them do a full build up to the bad guy, or cold. Don't know shit about the bad guy. You're just seeing it all from the Suicide Squad's point of view. So they're just kind of going into a war zone. I think that would have worked nice. The villains, henchmen or goons or whatever you want to refer to them as, for some reason, when I saw them, I couldn't really stop thinking about the putties from Power Rangers. And I'm not really sure if they're similar at all. It almost just seems kind of like they're faceless, dispensable villains, and you don't have to feel bad about killing them. So I think that's probably why it reminded me of that. And they also seem kind of easy to kill, like the putties where you just you press the button and they die. As I mentioned, the movie's a lot of fun, but it's not afraid to have some serious moments. There's a scene in the bar where Diablo gives his backstory, and that's fucking really sad and well acted. And I like how him and most of the characters in the movie really are more fleshed out than your typical villains are. They're not so much 2D. I really liked how they treated that character and how they treated pretty much all the characters in the movie. So again, Suicide Squad is a lot of fun. It's not a perfect movie. There are pacing issues and editing issues, as well as it having a weak villain. But it's also a very fun movie with a very good cast, and it's very entertaining. So Suicide Squad is rated B+. So given that Suicide Squad is a movie about villains, name a movie villain you really like. One I really like is Shooter McGavin, played by Christopher McDonald in Happy Gilmore. It's one of the great movie assholes. And Christopher McDonald in general, when he wants to play an asshole, he's fucking perfect at it. He eats pieces of shit for breakfast. So anyway, name a movie villain you really like. Make your mark below in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Suicide Squad is the long-awaited sequel to Monster Squad. They kind of took a dark turn. In case you don't already know, the movie takes place after Batman v Superman. And if you haven't seen that movie, spoiler warning, just for this small part. Suicide Squad is the latest movie in the Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman. Cara Delevingne, or however the fuck you pronounce it, plays the Enchantress.